Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Damian Hill. With me, as always, is TJ O'Connor. Tonight, we have the victorious Jeremiah Harper, who's coming off of a very impressive win at Valhalla Combat Sports that went down June 20th. But first, before we get into that, the sponsors of the show, we have Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrinks Tattoo out of New Brighton, Minnesota, Origin Wellness CBD, the Striking Institute, Spartan Martial Arts, the Fighters, James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, and TJ's mom. How you doing tonight, Jeremiah?
I'm doing great. A little worn out. Just got back from my first day back at the gym. So
Yeah. Oh, you're already training again already?
it was just jujitsu, but some live rolling. Back to boxing Friday.
Okay. Yeah, well, good. I mean, you didn't take too much damage. You know, I think the most powerful strike that was going for your head, you ducked under, and it actually hit me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Trying to punch a hole through my head, and it hit you.
I kind of played it in slow motion, you know, and I felt the punch, and granted, it didn't drop me or anything, but it did land pretty solid. I felt the power on it. How do you feel the fact? How do you feel about the fact that you were able to make a miss with that punch? And if it did land, what do you think? Do you think it would have hurt?
Oh yeah. Well, when I hurt the next day, you never really feel anything in the moment. I mean, like those check leg kicks. I mean, I didn't feel none of those at the time, but I was limping around Mall America the next day.
Yeah, and this was
yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Damien. I'm cutting
Sorry,
you. And this
no,
was
I cut out.
okay. Yeah, this was a fun fight, and we talked about it leading up before the fight in the pre-fight interview. You know, this guy's had a couple fights. You know, make sure you can't overlook him. You have to go in there. And it turned out this was a scrap. I mean, Trevor showed why he's been winning the fights he's been in.
Yeah, he was undefeated.
Was the fight going? Did the fight go how you expected to go? And overall, what was your take on what you were able to do, focusing on your skill?
I thought it went exactly as my game plan. I wanted to not let him have a feeling out process and to set my pace from the beginning, which is exactly what I did because I knew him being the bigger, heavier guy, he probably wanted to just bully me. And so that's why I wanted to set my pace, you know, let him know, you know, like I'm not going to let you muscle me around, do what you want to do. It's going to be my fight. And I felt I utilized my game plan and went exactly the way I wanted to.
Yeah. Was this was the first fight that you worked with your brother and he's corner? Was that both true?
Yes. The first time my brother and my dad was in my corner.
Okay.
Yep. My brother and my dad.
How did that feel? Having those two, and then also being able to work with them this whole time. I mean, granted, he did have the broken hand. I've seen that. You were mentioning that in the interview, but I guess having them in the corner in support and them knowing you knowing them, all of that. How did that feel?
Oh, it was awesome. I never had, you know, family like that in my corner, and like I really enjoyed letting them have a front row seat and, you know, having it be an intimate thing with all of us together like that because, you know, my dad was one who got me into martial arts, starting with wrestling as a kid. You know, him putting me in the mats as a kid was like my first step to all of this. So that was pretty awesome. And that it actually came together at the very last minute because I was supposed to have a friend of mine, Fikret, be my corner. And he ended up not being able to show because family reasons himself. And then my boxing coach, who I do a lot of my work with, he couldn't corner me either because Golden Gloves is shut down right now because of the whole COVID thing. And they pretty much said that if I fought or if he showed up at the event, he was going to be suspended from the upcoming Golden Glove season. So he couldn't show up for that, and I'm probably gonna face a suspension for the upcoming Golden Gloves season too.
Is that something that you're worried about, or are you not concerned because Jim's probably going to continue to put on these kickboxing matches, and then
Right.
the MMA portion or promotions should possibly start putting shows? You know, is it something that discourages you because you wanted to do it, or are you just like, well, fuck it, I'll just do it next season?
Pretty much, I was like, screw it. I mean, it's only a suspension. You know, I can, if I want to do more boxing, I can always do it more down the road. And I was more concerned with, you know, the Valhalla combat fights, you know, the kickboxing matches, because, you know, like I knew after this fight anyway, my next couple fights would probably be kickboxing matches. I wanted to fight Zach, and then so I was looking for more so at the now. And then, you know, like I could always, the suspension goes away.
Yeah, I mean, there's always time to keep fighting. And I mean, ironically, I had a question that came up as you were talking, and it's about the boxing, because you've competed now for Valhalla kickboxing, correct me, like 3 times? And twice now. And yeah, and in your first fight, I mean, you showed great style. And then in between that first fight, you had those 2 amateur boxing matches. And I feel like that really showed in this fight. If I can get into the X's and O's, I feel like your distance was there. You were working a lot off throwing your hook and stepping. Do you accredit that to getting that experience in the boxing ring, or do you think working with your boxing coach has allowed you to really step your game up and feel more comfortable in the pocket throwing hands?
Yes, all that improvement goes 100% to Cody McManigal, my boxing coach right now at Little Big's boxing gym in New York Mills. We've been working there, and he's been doing a great job. I mean, just making everything sharper, crisper, you know, managing distance, like you said, and just, you know, just all the boxing fundamentals that I didn't necessarily have earlier on in my MMA career, which is now starting to come in. And I'm glad you guys were able to see that, and, you know, it showed.
Yeah, it definitely did, and I'm glad that I was the third man in the ring with you. It was an honor,
Right?
by the way. I don't have a question. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, you had the best view in the house. I should be asking you how the fight looked.
You could say Damien saw the fight in 3D, and he didn't even need the glasses. So, I mean, it was, you know, like I said, awesome fight. And, you know, putting that aside, you said something interesting when you were talking in your last sentence, and you mentioned a gentleman's name, and it's a gentleman that is a friend of the show, and I was very excited to hear that this fight is finally set to happen. 3rd time's the charm. July 25th, you're going to fight Zach Gello. I mean, how excited are you to finally get this fight against a kid who has shown nothing but, you know, brilliant so far every time he's been at the Valhalla show?
I'm super excited because I know he's an extremely tough and, you know, high-level kid. Because, you know, like you said, he's just had great performances, and this is the kind of fight that I need to really draw the fighter out of me, because, you know, it's the fights that I know are dangerous is where I feel the most at home and, like, just mentally ready to fight. Like when I fought Josh and when I fought Ricky Field, like I knew they were really dangerous guys, and like because I had that in the back of my head, it just motivates me all the more to train harder. And because I know Zach is gonna bring a firefight and some lot of technical stuff at me, just makes me excited, like to throw a hand. And
dude, oh man, your performance against Ricky Fields was phenomenal. I just have to say that. And we've talked about it when doing the pre-fight interview, because you were supposed to fight him, and I mean I really can't speak on the matchup and how stylistically how this fight excites me, you know. I mean, but even more so now, because you showed a bunch of new things, or a bunch of improvements, I should say.
Right.
A bunch of improvements in that last outing, and this fight just got that much better for me. You know, I mean, do you feel like? Well, one, I'm pretty sure he was watching. I'm not exactly sure. I think I got a like from his dad. Yeah. So with them seeing that performance, do you think that this changes the fight in his eyes? Do you think that he this just gets ramped up a little bit more for him and for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, me coming off a good win, obviously makes it a little bit more of a high level fight or more anticipated fight. And now with him, like you said, watching me, I'm sure I'm sure they're training even harder now too. And now it's going to be better,
Yeah.
The fight was going to be good the first two times it was booked, but now this third one, it just keeps getting better every time.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for this fight. I feel like you guys have had, this is going to sound oxymoronish, but you guys have had such similar but different paths. You guys are two kids that grew up grappling. You were in a wrestling base. He started doing jiu-jitsu. You went straight into MMA, where he stuck with jiu-jitsu and competed at some high-level events. And you're both at a crossroad where you're looking to expand and improve your striking game. So I feel like this fight is the perfect matchup at the perfect time. With him he's a tall, lanky kid. He likes to keep the distance without giving away any type of game plans or anything. Is that something that you're going to have to change up in training for this camp, or is the plan still just to focus on yourself and everything will fall into play?
With just a month to prepare for this, I'm just got to keep doing the same thing I've been doing. Don't fix what's not broken. Just get back into the boxing gym Friday, get back into hitting mitts, start working some sparring sessions in this next couple weeks, and just keep everything going fresh the way I've been doing it. And I think, the 25th will be a hell of a show. And me getting to compete a month prior, it's just I'm going to be on fire. I got a feeling on the 25th.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I can't wait for this fight. I'm so glad that I got to be the ref for your last fight and to see that performance, and then also get ready to see this one. I'm throwing my name in the hat to be the referee for this fight as well. I want to be there. I do not want to be a judge for this fight either. Like I want to be shit, I might
be
even
on top of it.
Yeah, like this is one of those ones I'm excited for, and dude, we're only a month away.
I know. I can't believe this is one of the quickest turnarounds for me too, which I love the idea of that too. Two dangerous fights back to back like this. It's just gets my adrenaline going, and that's why I love it. I'm an adrenaline junkie. That's why I do it.
Hell yeah. Well, sorry, TJ.
No, I think we're going in the same spot. I can't be sold anymore on this fight. I'm excited. July 25th. I don't even know if they're ready yet, but get them. Get them right now. Pre-order them. Call Jim and say, get me in there. Before we wrap it up, though, Jeremiah, I always like to give a platform just to thank any teammates, sponsors, anybody that was there for you with this last win, and anybody you anticipate being for you with this upcoming fight.
Yep, just thanks to the regular people, my friends, my family that showed up and watched me fight this last weekend. My coaches, my training partners, all you guys mean the world to me, and you guys make all this possible. This is a team effort.
Oh, yeah, man. We really appreciate the time you take with us. We love having you on. Can't wait to have you on again. People watching. Yeah, hell yeah. People watching, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ, and most importantly, don't be a hoe.